All right, welcome back to the channel. It's going to be episode 5 of the van build. And in today's episode, we're going to be starting on our kitchen area. If you can tell by the thumbnail, hopefully we are going to finish this up today and get it installed. So I do have everything cut out already, and I've kind of been lining it up. I have a pretty good game plan of how I'm going to do this, but I got a little bit of an intricate setup that I'm going to be building. I already have all of the pieces. Now I'm just trying to figure out how to screw it all together and make it all squared up in the end. So I'm just kind of laying it out, seeing how I want to go about this. But yeah, we're getting it going. And yeah, I'm super stoked to get this piece in. Once we get this piece in, then we'll be able to just build off of it and start to do the rest of the van. And I will explain a little more how it's going to work and what kind of features it will have once we get it all together, because right now it's just kind of, you know, it's all in pieces, so gotta figure out how we're gonna put it together. And hopefully I measured everything out and designed this right, because I already made all the cuts, so now it's just time to see if I designed a good little kitchen area. Also, I didn't buy any wood. This is all just scrap wood that I've had left over, so I think it's all gonna work perfectly. So if something looks a little funny, you're like, oh, why are you doing it like that? It's because I'm just using what I got. All right, now I'm gonna use a decent amount of pocket holes with this, because we're gonna be attaching some 2x4s like this. So then we'll just drill some nice pocket holes. Since I have a lot of different pieces that are going together, it's kind of hard, and they're all different lengths. This is not a typical build that you would do, so I'm just figuring out the best ways possible to square everything up, but I think I got it. All right, so now I took that piece out and I just flipped these pieces up. So now, to make sure that this piece is squared, I'm using a 10-inch piece to just make sure that it is exactly 10 inches down. So now I might use some pocket screws for this one. All right, just pocket hold these. So that's kind of what we're working with. Now this is the part where you're like, oh, all the legs are uneven. Yeah, I'm just gonna have the front legs touching the ground, and then that cross member is gonna be screwed into the wall of the van, so I don't have any back legs. And then that middle one is because I'm gonna be putting a sheet of wall. So, all right, first test. Nice. It's not bad, not bad. All right, I made a slight mistake. I forgot that I was gonna put this piece on this in between these. So just gotta take it off and plop this in. All right, I'm gonna take 5 and figure out what I'm gonna do next. All right. The bones are in. Man, I'm pretty stoked on how this came out. It was pretty tricky to get it all together like this, but we got it, and I'm pretty sure it should all be nice and flat. But as I'm looking right now, ooh man, this corner is definitely a little higher, like this wood bent up a little bit. Yeah, I think it's this piece is just slightly angled up. All right, pretty much have it all done, at least the framework. So now I'm just gonna put the sheet on top and see how it looks. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that is perfect. So I left about a 1/4 inch on each side so I can put a piece of 1/4 inch plywood on the outside, so then it'll just look like plywood so you won't see all the wood. And I'm gonna put it on the front too, make nice cabinets and stuff, drawers. And then yep, same thing over here, left about 1/4 inch. So these are the front legs. And I'm gonna have no legs in the back because I'm just gonna screw through that 2x4 into the wall to mount the back of it. And then, yeah, it's gonna be pretty sweet. And then I put this sheet of plywood in the middle so then I could mount my switches and stuff or whatever else I need for my electrical area. This is gonna be the electrical area. Then I have room for drawers. Then I have some room for some storage over here, which is nice. Probably do some pull-out drawers or like a nice big pantry or something, I don't know. But yeah, man, I'm pretty stoked. All right, I forgot to add a couple pieces. Just added that one and this one or that one. I don't remember. I think I added that one. So now it's all ready to go. Now this is not the absolute most perfect thing I could build, but I'm just using scrap wood, so. And also the wood that I'm using is not perfectly straight. They're a little bit warped and not perfect, so sometimes it makes it a pain because you think you got the perfect piece and then it's like, oh. But we figured it all out. Everything is nice and flush and squared up and it fits perfectly, so. Stability check. All right, this is day 2 of episode 5. And we're gonna be mounting up the unit that we built yesterday. So I gotta disconnect this because we're gonna be moving these. All right, running into just a tad bit of a problem. I thought this was gonna line up flush with the wall, but it's not right here, so we're gonna figure this out, but everything else is looking good. I drilled some holes so we could feed the wires through. All right, we got it figured out. So I ended up just taking this piece off, screwing it to the wall where it's gonna be resting, and then I used my body weight and just pushed this in flush with the wall and then used these little corner brackets to screw it in. So that made it nice and easy because I just needed to push this 2x4 out pretty much a little bit. As you can see, there's a tiny little bit of gap, but it is going up nice and flush. So no problem, we fixed it. I just have one screw in for now, just in case I wanna take this off. I don't wanna fully screw it down yet, so. Yeah, it's looking freaking awesome. So now I'm just gonna mount our electrical, get our electrical taken care of so we don't have to worry about that anymore. And then yeah, we're freaking shaking and baking. It's pretty hot if you can tell. I have the AC disconnected right now because I was working with it. We have to reroute the wires, and then so I'm gonna just do that right now so I can get the AC. Oh my gosh, I am just drenched in sweat. You can see it all over the floor. Just all right, we just wrapped up the electrical. This is how I am keeping the solar disconnect from moving because it just hangs on this little thing. It's kind of annoying, but fixed with 2 screws. Got the AC hooked up. Should throw these bad boys back on. Let's get this AC going. So now we can just turn on our power, turn on our solar. I think it's up here, yeah. And turn on our AC unit. Oh yeah, there we go. Oh yeah, instant cold air. Absolutely love this Vlim Pro AC unit. Got a full review on the channel. That was episode 1 of the build. This is what started the whole build. This air conditioner unit right here. Oh, I never would have gotten solar panels and a new battery if I didn't get this. And then I never would have had the motivation to really start building. So, well, I did, but now we're actually doing it. right, it's looking good down here. Whoa. So we got the solar disconnect, we got the battery disconnect, and then got the diesel heater, DC to DC charger, and a MPPT controller with the fuse box. And our 12-volt AC. Man, I am stoked. All right, I think that's gonna do it for this episode. Super stoked on how this came out. And now that we have this in here, the electrical is pretty much all set. We can really start to focus on everything else and start to make our drawers and cabinets and really just finishing this up. So yeah, super stoked on the progress we're making. And yeah, got this AC going. I don't even know if you guys could hear it, but it's on full blast right now. And it feels good. But yeah, so stay tuned for the next episode. We're pretty much just finishing out the inside from here on out. We gotta get our couch situation, we gotta get our little sink situation, we gotta mount our TV, and then we just gotta move in. So man, I'm super stoked. So thank you guys for watching. If you made it this far, appreciate you. Hope you're enjoying the van build. Man, episode 5, can't believe we're already on episode 5. It's going quick. I got about 1 week left until I'm going to be, about probably a week and a half until I'm going to be moving into this van. And yeah, so we pretty much got a week and a half to knock it out. And we're just going to do as much as we can. And so I'll see you in the next episode.